So I have been looking for a lot of different ways to bring in income without having to deal with client headache. And I think I've stumbled on a few different models that are in its initial phase working incredibly well. So I want to share some of that with you. But really, I want to be done with working with clients. I don't enjoy it. Okay. I don't enjoy clients calling me at all hours saying that they couldn't get their login or that their button is needed to be changed from red to blue or all that little stuff that just eats away at your day. So the model that I'm working on right now, I've pitched two really large companies and both were extremely excited about it. And so I'm launching that this coming week. And so I'm going to share with you exactly what it is. But in a nutshell, basically all I'm doing is going to companies and saying, do you have an old database of leads? If you do, then I won't charge you anything up front. I won't charge you anything monthly. There's no setup fees. There's no retainers, nothing like that. You just pay me every time I take one of those old leads and book them on your calendar. And it happens every single time. So it's not like we get 30 or 50 appointments deep and then you owe me a big chunk of money. Every time an appointment is made, it hits your credit card for the agreed upon amount. So let me show you the tech stack that I'm using and then we'll talk more about this too. Okay, so the initial tech stack, what we're using is HighLevel. And then we're also using something called My CRM Sim, and we're using Closebot. Okay, so let me break down each one of these. HighLevel, what I'm doing with HighLevel is basically using it to house all of the leads. So I take their database, I upload it to HighLevel, and then I use that as the communication device that I can track all the leads, see what status they are, all that stuff. I also use it for the automations to charge the credit card and store the Stripe details. And so if you're curious about how that works, you basically set up a credit card in your Stripe account for the customer. So in this case, ABC Roofing, for example. And then we don't charge anything to the card. It's just a card on file. And then through HighLevel, you can do an automation where every time an appointment is booked, then you can do a one-time charge to that card. Now, there'll be some things I need to figure out. I'm sure there's going to be some appointments that are booked that end up being not what we promised or whatever, but we'll figure all that stuff out. Okay, the next thing we are using is My CRM Sim, which is a way to not have to register for the A2P. If you don't know what that is, it's application to person. And it just basically, you have to go through Twilio and HighLevel and set up like all kinds of stuff for your phone line so that it's attached to your business. But it also requires you every time you send a message out to have that little disclaimer at the bottom, like reply stop to opt out at the beginning of every message. And what I found is that not only does that process take a while to get approved, but even when you are approved, when that initial message goes out, then people are instantly used to replying stop. So like sometimes half of the leads that I send messages out to reply stop instantly, and I have no way to market to them. Now, with this system, it basically allows you to set up iMessaging through a cell phone. It's a little bit of hardware you have to buy. So you have to buy like a Mac Mini and a new phone for this. Not a new phone, but I get like used phones on Marketplace for like 50, $60. And it allows me to either use the phone to message the people or through HighLevel. They have a system where I can just send the messages through there, but it will go through iMessage. And I don't have to do the A2P registration, all that stuff. You can also do it through an Android, and that allows you to send even more. I think with the iPhone, I can send like 50 messages a day. So that is a little limiting, but so far I'm doing it for a local dentist right now. And out of, I think the first 60 messages I sent, I booked him six appointments. So 10% already, which is great. I know other industries might be a little different, but so far I'm really excited about this side of it. And then Closebot, you've heard me probably talk about Closebot on the channel before, but Closebot is handling all of the AI communication back and forth over text message. So we're not doing voice blasts or anything like that. It's just literally text communication back and forth and booking people on a calendar. So this is really crucial to the process. HighLevel does have its own chat as well, but I found that Closebot is working a lot better for me. It's a little easier to set up. And so for now and for the foreseeable future, I'm going to continue to use Closebot for this system. Okay, now let's talk about the money side of this, what I see so far and what I think is going to happen. Obviously, I haven't actually fully executed this yet, but it looks really lucrative for me right now, and so I'm really excited about it. But essentially, right now we have an insurance company that has, and they do more than insurance, but it's primarily insurance, but they also have a lot of other financial planning, estate planning type of aspects to themselves. And they have a legal arm that they're launching in the new year. So that's exciting too. But what this looks like is they have a database of 10,000 roughly leads right now, old leads. And what they're willing to do is pay $300 per appointment. So we take those 10,000 leads, we drip maybe 50 out a day, 100 out a day, and we can scale up from there once we see that it's working. I just want to kind of get a gauge of what people are going to say and how to navigate all this. But essentially, if I can, I don't know that this will happen, but if I could close the same 10%, that would be 1,000 appointments. So that would be $300,000 out of this campaign. So even if it's a fraction of that, the great thing about this is I'm not going out and generating new leads, right? I'm not having to run ads and then arbitrage the difference where I pay $50 a lead and I charge them $100 a lead or whatever. I'm taking their old database right now. These are leads that they've like already discounted as these are dead. They're not going to convert because they're getting new leads every single day. So they're focused on the new leads, obviously. But if I can convert just even a small fraction of this, once I set up the automation, there's not a ton to do. I'm going to check in and see what's happening, but at some point, I'll feel pretty confident that I can just let this thing run and it's going to do its job. So the other great thing about this is not a client, right? I'm acting more as a partner with them. And it's a per appointment basis. So again, we can't get too far ahead of ourselves where they owe me $30,000 and they're like, sorry, not going to pay you. I'm going to get a charge every single time that I book an appointment. And if it starts to not work out, they're not happy with it or whatever, and they don't want to take the time to let me kind of tweak things to make it work, I just take the same system that I've built and I attach it to a different company. And my goal is to get 10, 20, 30, 50 of these that are just booking appointments all day long. And I can have somebody that's monitoring what it's saying and just go from there. And hopefully I'm getting dings on my phone all day long of appointment booked, appointment booked. If I get like 10, 20, 30 of these a day, how incredible is that, right? 300 bucks times 10, that's $3,000 a day. If we do 100 of them, that's $30,000 a day. I mean, that would be incredible. And I think that's doable because the pitch has been almost effortless. Like it's not really even a pitch. It's like, hey, you have old leads. They're just sitting there. Do you want me to try to turn them into something or not? And I do have to give credit where credit is due. I've kind of hybridized this between a few different people, but primarily Dan Wardrop from Flexible is talking a lot about this as well. Check out his school group. But I've kind of altered some of this on the back end that I'll show you guys later to make it work even better for me. And so I can't wait to launch these initial messages. Again, I've already been doing this for my dentist and it's working great, but he has a lower ticket item, right? Right now, we're just activating people to come in and do their teeth whitening or teeth cleaning, their annual cleaning. So he's making a few $100. Maybe if he gets some braces work or filling work out of that, he bumps it up to a couple thousand. But when you talk about insurance, life insurance, estate planning, that kind of stuff, those can be really massive commissions for those people. The other thing that I haven't even talked about, I talked about in a previous video, is I am also going to be executing this for my own business in real estate and mortgage so that I can I can run ads to people that are looking to buy a new home or sell their home. And the people that convert right now, I'm going to have AI refer those out to other agents. And then people that don't convert, I'm going to be building a database that I can then reactivate my own database to convert these people throughout the next years. So that is really exciting too. My goal is to build like a ton of as passive as possible cash flow systems. I am really shifting out of the client work, even to some degree, a lot of SaaS that isn't fruitful for both parties. Like I have some clients that I kept, I kind of did a cut a while back and I was like, I'm moving out of this. And then I just got addicted to the money coming in, but sometimes those customers are not fun to work with, right? So I want to shift as much out of like customer client work and move more into partnership and building cash flow systems for my own businesses. And that's really what I want to do. I love HighLevel. I love CloseBot. I love all these other systems that are out there, but I really just want to build assets that allow me to live completely as free as possible life. I'm not obligated to anybody. I don't have to show up to extensive meetings unless I want to. I want to build things with people that I'm really excited to build them with. And if you are interested in that, those links down below to try some of these software tools out or join my community. But overall, I want to just keep bringing you different ways that I'm automating businesses and all kinds of different things. I'm doing things in YouTube automation where I'm building like YouTube channels and testing some stuff out with that. So many cool things you can do these days. It's like early days of the internet, and I was around right when that was happening, that transition was happening. And I'm this is the most excited I've ever been in tech, right? Because now we can truly duplicate ourselves and duplicate our efforts. So I am so excited about this. So if you like this kind of stuff, give me a like button, hit the like button down below. And other than that, have a lot more of this in the future. Talk to you then.